Okay, come. Okay. Come. I want to get that up. Right. Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises on our Bahasham Yahushai and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Let me just make sure this stream is, oh man. I think my internet, give me a second. My internet access might not be the best. Let me just change position. Salakia. But let me just say double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And honors to you brothers out there that's on the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to those of you that believe in Yahushua and you're supporting the ministry. All right. Shalom. Hopefully the video and the audio is coming through good now because I've changed position. The Wi-Fi is much better where I am at. If one of the Arkim on the comment board can let me know. Shalom, Makola. Shalom to the Arkim on the comment board. Just let me know that the audio and the video is coming through. Bless. Yeah, got my phone here. Just check it on my end. All right, crystal clear. All right, beautiful. All right, so the topic of this lesson is who shall make war with the beast? America, aka Babylon. Okay, and this is just saying because me and the elder Ariala, we were going through some information together, just looking at the military capabilities of these various nations that's going to be involved in World War III, beginning with America, Russia, China, so forth. And it was quite enlightening when you actually look at the numbers and you begin to understand. I mean, you might have heard America being called a superpower, but until you really look at the numbers and analyze what it is that you're dealing with, you really ain't gonna have the full understanding as to why America with NATO is an alliance which is feared among the nations, and it's been feared since the inception of NATO. All right, with good reason, and that is a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Okay, the rise to America, and America replacing the British Empire as a superpower on the earth. All of that is biblical prophecy. And the time period we're in right now is we're at the end of going towards the end of that supremacy of the last great superpower before the nation of Israel kingdom is established. We're at the end of that, and as great in militarily wise, as great as America is going to fall, right? Because it is the will and the word of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. And that's what it is. Point blank, period. All right. So what I want to do is, since I mentioned the term superpower, I want to define that term. All right. Let's define the term superpower. All right. Superpower is a term used to describe a state with a dominant position, which is characterized by its extensive ability to exert influence and project power on a global scale. All right, America it exerts influence and power on a global scale. Case in point, they have their military basically set up under a global command. All right, when you go to what's it called? US command zones or whatever, if you come up, right? The United States military is, yeah, US states, you got Central Command. That's not what I want. CENTCOM is not what I want. I want the overall. Give me a second. Let me just pull it up here. Unified. All right, you got something called the Unified Combatant Command, and you see the map here. The United States military, or so-called defense. And really, when they say the Department of Defense, they're not talking about defending the shores of America. What they're talking about is defending the superpower status, the empire. Yeah, the American empire, which is the Neo-Roman Empire. That's what when they're talking about defense, they're not defending themselves. They're defending their power over the rest of the earth. All right, they make it look like, yeah, we're defending American citizens. They're not defending American citizens. They're defending their ability to influence and take advantage of the nations around the world. And one of the main ways they do that is through their military might. That's why you got US PACCOM, yeah, US AFRICOM, US CENTCOM, US EUCOM, US Southcom, US Northcom, US PACCOM, right? If you type in military, United States military bases around the world, right? We don't want to read it. We want some images. All right. This looks good. Let's get zoom in. I mean, you can see they got bases all over the world. All right, because it's a world empire, and that's Babylon, mystery Babylon, that sitteth upon many peoples. In fact, let's get that in the scriptures. All right. In fact, I'll show them. Let's have a look at the comment board real quick. All right, good, we're good. That's why the scriptures speak about Babylon is sitteth upon many waters, man. All right, that's part of it. They're a superpower and they sit upon many waters, man. Right, Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And that's America. All right, whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. All right, that's talking about America, because they're that superpower that projects their power and their influence on a global scale over every continent. All right, it says this is done through the combined means of economic. That's why they got the IMF, they got the World Bank, which is all set up in through America. All right, they control all that. That's why America is able to control putting sanctions on other nations, man, through the SWIFT system and all that business there. All right, this is done through the combined means of economic, military, all right, technological and cultural strength, as well as diplomatic and soft power influence. Right, so they got all these things. They economically, they got the petrodollar, which which puts them in a very strong position to outspend anyone and outborrow, which we're going to get into that a bit later. Traditionally, superpowers are preeminent among the great powers. All right, so you got other powers, but a superpower is way above everybody else, and we're going to show that. The term was first applied post-World War II to the British Empire, which, if you know the scriptures in the book of Revelations, the British Empire represents the seventh head of the dragon, and the United States and the Soviet Union, which the United States represents the eighth head, which is of the seventh. All right. It says, however, after the end of World War II and the Suez Crisis in 1956, the United Kingdom's status as a superpower was greatly diminished. Guess what? That's why it's not called Great Britain. It's called the United Kingdom. It ain't Great Britain no more, because America took Great Britain's place. That's why prior to the dollar being the world reserve currency, it was the British pound. All right, that comes hand in hand. Leaving just the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers for the duration of the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union came to be generally regarded as the two remaining superpowers dominating world affairs. At the end of the Cold War and the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, only the United States appeared to fulfill the criteria of being a world superpower. All right, and that's that American hegemony, which exists even unto this very day. Alice Lyman Miller defines a superpower as a country that has the capacity to project dominating power and influence anywhere in the world, and sometimes in more than one region of the globe at a time, and so may plausibly attain the status of global hegemony. And that's what America has. They have a global hegemony. That's why you got something called American, what's it called? American exceptionalism, because, you know, they've been basically the big dog. They've been the big dog, man. Nobody can't say nothing to them, because no one nation can match America pound for pound. And I'm going to show you that. But that pride is what's going to lead to their destruction, man. All right, because it's the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. In fact, let's get that, man, because the scriptures tell you that they were going to go into perdition. That is the destiny of the beast of America. Let's get that. Right, America rose only to fall. That's the death. There's a movie they made called The Road to Perdition. Well, America has been on the road to perdition by the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It says, Revelation 17:11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, all right, which is America, which the eighth beast also represents the whore that sitteth upon the beast, and is of the seventh, and goeth into perdition. All right, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And that's talking about NATO, which we're going to get into. By them European countries attaching themselves onto America, they were able to share in the American dominance over the rest of the world. Because really, when you look at a lot of these European nations, singularly, they're really not that powerful. But when you put them all together and then you add them onto America, NATO is an unrivaled force for a long time. And we're going to show that because the numbers is clear. But they're still going to go down because it's the will of the Lord. They're still going to go down. It said these have one mind. That's why when they made the attack on Syria, what did they keep coming out and saying? Oh, we had one mind. We were in agreement. Them NATO members, whenever it comes to war, they're always in agreement and they act as one. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. That's why you had the UK military involved, the French military. Then maybe the Germans might help in a certain way or whatever the case may be. The same thing happened in Iraq. Same thing happened in Afghanistan, Yugoslavia, Libya, you name it. All right. Let's hit the comment board. Then I want to get to this information. Okay, they sit on many waters. Look up the U.S. ports. Yeah, there's 5, if I'm not mistaken. That's why we know that America's Babylon the Great, man, because America is the #1 consumer nation on the face of the planet Earth. All right. And they have about over 520 seaports. All right. So that's another way they sit on many waters. It says the brother said all over the world, the US has access to ports and the movement of merchandise everywhere. And they guarantee that through their military. See, okay, GMS Living Waters, Daniel 7:19. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured and should say break in pieces the residue. But yet that's talking about the Roman Empire, which America is nothing more than the rebirth of the Roman Empire in the spirit, the second leg of the Roman Empire. And it has that strong iron teeth, which is the military, and the nails, which are of brass. But the Lord is going to break them teeth, as the scriptures say. The Lord, and all of that is going to count for naught, because it don't matter what you got or what you do in the flesh, the will of the Lord is still going to come to pass. Yeah? It don't matter how strong you think you are, you ain't stronger than the will and the word of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. So if the Lord say you're going to go down, you're going to go down. There ain't no muscle, there ain't no Mexican meat you can take that's going to make you overcome that judgment. And that's going to be completely personified and manifested in the fall of the greatest superpower there ever has been on the earth, which is America. They're going to fall. In fact, they're going to more than fall. They're going to be completely annihilated off the face of the earth, man, not without memorial, because their annihilation, the result of their annihilation is going to be their memorial. But there's going to be no root left in them. No buildings, no nothing. Ain't no archaeologist is going to be going over there and digging up no foundations. It's going to be destroyed completely, dissolved. And all this superpower business is going to come to naught. It says Daniel 7:20, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up before whom 3 fell, that other horn is the 8th horn, which is America. And the 3 that fell before it is what? Spain, France, and England, Britain. Even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, because that superpower status is gone to their head, whose look was more stout than his fellows, because America basically looks at their European allies as mini-me's, which when you look at the numbers, they really are mini-me's. France can't say nothing to America. Britain can't say nothing to America. None of these any one nations of their allies can really match America gun for gun, bullet for bullet. All right. So let me see if there's anything else. Then we're going to actually start showing these numbers. Here we go. Jeremiah 49:16. Thy terribleness have deceived thee. And that's what we're going to show you. Their terribleness, that military might, but it has deceived them because they think that military might can trump the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Like you could be, as long as you got the military might, you could be as wicked as you want to be, and you're going to escape judgment. Nah, fam, it don't work like that. Might don't mean right for men, because if might is only right for the Most High, because the Most High is the only one that's untouchable, who has the unlimited power, man. You just men, you're just man. That terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. And the main source of American pride is that military. You know, so-called God's army, the greatest military on the planet Earth. They're going to get the most epic fail on the planet Earth too. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou makest thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. And the brother said every time an empire reached a zenith, they would crumble. Yeah, because unless the Lord build a house, it ain't going to stand. None of these empires was built on the righteousness and the power and the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh to everlasting, to be everlasting. America was built on blood. America's cursed, man. It's not built on the righteousness of the Heavenly Father. That's why it's gonna fall, man. All right. The scriptures is clear. Woe unto him that buildeth a city with blood. Psalms 3 and 7. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. The Lord is going to disarm this man. He's going to, the so-called white man, who is the king of the sword, and we're going to prove that too, is going to be disarmed. He's going to be broken. All right. Habakkuk 1 and 6, brothers, is going in. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nations, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. Yeah, there's these devils, man. That's what they do. They go around the world and take. Okay. Hey, shalom, Yabashim Shabrakata. Khan, you wanna jump on? Let me put you on loudspeaker.
To make a point on something that you're reading, you know, here in the book of Habakkuk. Can you hear me out?
Yeah, Khan.
Okay, Khan. Hey, man, call halal Yahweh Shabashim Kakadash. You know, when we're looking at you going over how the United States is a superpower, and that made me think, you know, when you read in the book of Habakkuk 1, and then you go over to the book, the second chapter, how it talks about how they're gonna take a parable up against, you know, this wicked nation, you know. And when you look at ancient empires, every time they reach heights like this, that's exactly what happened, man. Ain't nothing new under the sun, you know. When you look at the time of Babylon, when it reached this height and stretched itself to all the different foreign lands that it had control over, Persia, Greece, Rome, you know, Great Britain, France, and now the United States has basically made this last little push for Esau's dominion on the planet Earth, you know. Now we're seeing what always happens to wicked kingdoms when they rule, because they rule unrighteously. These other heathen nations round about prepare to like disrupt, you know, sabotage and eventually destroy that empire, man. And so it's kind of like what it takes in order to be a superpower. That shit's hard, man. Like, you gotta have control over people, trade routes. You gotta have the biggest military. You gotta manipulate minds and kind of have a whole kind of mythology about your nation. You know, it's a big idea, and it lends to the power of they shall give life to the image of the beast. You know, so the nature of this rulership, and people gotta understand, like, how America, how Babylon the Great is ruling right now, how it's sitting on many waters. This is unprecedented, man. The way America is ruling the planet Earth right now has never happened before. Not at this scale. Not where you got all industries. Because, you know, even when Persia was ruling, you still had areas that had their own kind of like independent empires kind of going. You know what I'm saying? Even during the time of the Byzantine Empire, you still had the Mongolian Empire and things going on like that. But now, if you're not coming underneath the doctrine of America, if you're not going by the way that NATO has prescribed for you, literally they can wipe you off the planet Earth, man, in a way that's been like, bro, ain't no contest. So the destruction that's being prepared for America is going to be on a whole nother level, bro. It's going to be something that. Think about the level of the judgment that's going to take that it's going to take this place down. It's gotta be off the charts. You know what I'm saying, Ak?
Khan.
Is what I'm saying making sense? Can you hear me, Ak?
Yeah, Khan. Okay, it's a superpower, man. So it's gonna have to be a superpower judgment.
Yeah, it's gotta be, bro. It's gotta, because I'm just listening to, you know, the definitions that you're putting out for this superpower, and even at the time of the height of Rome, shit wasn't this dominating. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
That like the Most High really has given this man the power of the sword and taken it to the ultimate level. So it's going to take ultimate destruction to take this man out of this power seat. And that's what we're waiting on, you know? So, hey, man, we coming into heavy times, man. We coming into something that the world has never seen before. The fact that these nations have the willingness to buck up to this superpower lets you know that we are in incredible times, man. We're in incredible times, man. I was the last sit down, you know, we sat down and we talked about the power level of the American Air Force, and I was looking at the S-300, S-400, and now you got the S-500 systems that Russia has, man. Man, hey, bro, when these two dudes go head up, man, it's gonna be something explosive, man. It's gonna be something serious, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we coming into those times. We're not talking about rinky-dink Afghanistan no more. We're not talking about rinky-dink Iraq no more.
Oh, Iraq was still rolling with Scud missiles.
These are legitimate powers.
You know, Iraq was using Scud missiles, firing them. That's Scud missiles. You might as well pick up a grenade and throw it. You know.
Right. So we're coming into serious shit now, man. You know, but I just wanted to add that point. Like, think about it, man. Like, bro, this American hegemon has really done something fucking crazy, man. It's biblical how big they've gotten and the level of control that they have over the planet Earth. It's biblical, man. This is unprecedented.
Yeah.
You know, so these people, they have to admit, America is mentioned in the Bible, man. This Babylon the Great that has this ridiculous amount of control over the planet, that's America, man. Look at it, bro. Look at this motherfucker. Look at what it is. Look at what it's controlling on every aspect. You know what I'm saying? It's some serious stuff, man. So we coming into some incredible times, man. I just wanted to add that point, Ak, man, because I'm just listening. I'm like, damn, like that's heavy, man. I didn't want that point to be missed, you know.
Con.
So you know, man, the water for letting me call in. I'm just listening, bro. I'm just listening, man. Keep going in, Ak.
Con, man. Hey, anytime, brother. You know, man. You know you got the special line.
Let's go, champ. Let's go, man. Hey, man. Yabashim Yashab Rakata, Shalom.
Hey, Yabashim Yashab Rakata, Shalom. Okay. Yeah, you know, that's what it is, man. It's a serious deal what's going on out here. That's why these devils, Trump and that's why all these different presidents and these generals, you ever seen how proud them American generals are? Why the hell you think they so proud? Why the hell you think they so proud? Because they're like, who's going to war with the beast? Who wants some? Look, man, we got the evidence. No, you ain't got to see the evidence. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You want to get jumpy? Boom, just send 3 aircraft carriers offshore. Let them know it's real. That's how they are. That's the spirit they're in. Oh, you going to say we did something wrong? We ain't even going to address you. That's how these guys be rolling. They're proud because they got that sword. So let me jump. Bro, I brought out superpower, right? What's this? Let me just make sure I got stuff lined up. Okay, I got the military expenditure. We're going to get to that. Arms sales, we're going to get to that. Right? And even outside of America, man, Esau is just dominant on this earth, man. You can't say that he ain't the man of the sword. And we're going to prove that. He is the man of the sword, man. He is the man of violence. When it comes to the sword, ain't nobody talking to Esau, man. No, I don't care about them samurais. Ain't nobody talking to Esau. Esau is the undisputed king of the sword on this earth, man. All right? Facts. But guess what? he's still gonna go down. All Edomite nations are gonna fall, beginning with America. Every single last one of them. Their sword isn't gonna deliver them from he that sitteth upon that horse, man. That he that cometh in the clouds. And we might be able to touch on that. Now, back to this. This is globalfirepower.com. This is a badass website, very enlightening. All right, I mean, it really enlightens, man, about what's really going on out here in these militaries. Now, let me just show you what's up. All right, what they do is they got different ranks based upon all the different components of a military. Let me show you where America is. Right? America is ranked number 1. And they're a part of NATO. Number 2 is Russia, China. And then look at the rest of it. You got France, NATO member. United Kingdom, NATO member. Then you got South Korea, Japan, Turkey, NATO member. Germany, NATO member. Italy, NATO member. Yeah, Egypt, Iran, Brazil, Indonesia, Israel, NATO ally. Spain, NATO member. So when you look at the top nations in the world, you got America, and then you Poland, NATO member. All right, Canada, NATO member. Greece, NATO member. When you look at the top 40, top 50, you got America at the top, which is far and above every other nation, including Russia. And then you got the NATO members are all in there and thereabouts. So when you take America and you add them onto NATO, right? Which let me show you NATO. That's madness right there. That's why these nations have been shook to their bones when it comes to the beast, man, and the whore that sitteth on the beast. They don't want no smoke, but the Lord is putting a spirit on them to come up against the beast and the whore anyway. Right? The Lord is gonna make it happen anyway. Already they didn't want no smoke, man. Now check NATO out, established in 1949. All right, and it started off with 10 nations, pretty much, the 10 original European nations, but they split up into little different countries now. But you got United States is number 1, then number 2 is France. You got United Kingdom, Turkey, Germany, Italy, Spain, Poland, Canada, Greece, Czech Republic, Norway, Netherlands, Romania, Denmark, Hungary, Bulgaria, Slovakia. The list goes on and on. This is the team right here. Now, let me show you something, because I mentioned whose look was more stout than his fellows, right? So according to this, the nearest NATO member in military power to the United States is France and the UK. All right, so let me show you something. What you can do on this website is you can compare the militaries. So let's do a comparison, and then you're gonna see why America looks down on these NATO nations, man, like mini-me's. All right, it's because of that military, man, because of how big they are. Now let's select the United States, and this is all prophecy being fulfilled. And that's why these other EU nations, they're kind of envious, and they don't like having to play second fiddle to America, man. They really don't like it, man, because they're proud, man. They don't like taking the load. Let's look at France versus America, man. You're going to see what's going on out here. This is madness. Look. Now, the American population, what, 326 million, blah, blah, blah. The manpower available for the United States Army is 145 million men. France is only 30 million. They got 120 million fit for service. France, 23. 4 million men reaching military age. France, 775. Active personnel, 1.2 million active personnel in their military. France has 200,000. That means that the American military has over 1 million more personnel than France. Reserve components, 800,000 for America. only 180,000 for France. Total military personnel, 2 million for America. You see where we're going for this? Defense budget for America. Well, what is this number, man? $647 billion. France, 40 billion. So they're like over 600 billion more they spend per year when it comes to the military. America, 13,362 total aircraft. France, 1,262. Do you see where we're going with this? These European nations are mini me's. America is a super power. All right. Their nearest NATO ally in power is nowhere near their level. America is Babylon the Great. Mystery Babylon. There can be no doubt. Okay. Now, if we go back to the original list, all right, we go back to the original list. What's the nearest nation comparable? United States, it's Russia, right? And I notice these are pretty much mostly Edomite nations in the list. All right, now Russia, right? So we're going to do a comparison between United States and Russia. You're going to see why Trump is so damn proud, because they look at this stuff. They're like, man. But what they don't understand is that nuclear power is ultimately a great equalizer. They're going to fall by them nukes too. But they're thinking the nukes ain't going to get used because of mutually assured destruction. But the Lord got a whole different thing going on. Let's compare America and Russia. There is no comparison. There's no nation that can compare to America in terms of conventional military. Now, they're comparable. Russia on their own is comparable in terms of the nuclear, but in terms of conventional, there ain't no comparison. That's why Russia needs allies, man. But the Lord is giving them allies. Let's have a look how they compare. This is America versus Russia. All right, they got half the population straight away. Half the manpower available. Look at that. Less than half fit for service. Less than half reaching military age. Similar amount of active personnel. More reserve components. We'll give them that. And they got more total military personnel. Now check the defense budget. Again, America's 647 billion. Russia's 47 billion. They're little guys. External debt. Now check this out. Russia, their external debt is what? 451 billion. America's external debt is oh shit, 17 trillion. Something crazy. Right? And that's one of the main reasons why they're able to have the military they do, because of debt. Because they established the petrodollar, and because the world has confidence in America, America's able to borrow money in order to make themselves lord over these other nations. Right? And that goes back into the book of Habakkuk. Let's get that. They're able to basically borrow from the other nations more than any other nation, and then spend that money on their military and all that. Let's get that in Habakkuk 2 and 5. Right, before we get that, let's hit the comment board, see what was going on. Yeah, Isaiah 41. What's the name of that site? It's called globalfirepower.com. All right, globalfirepower.com. All right. Yeah, them US missiles got shot down. 70% of them. It's gonna be sweet, boy. This war's gonna go in hard. But there's plenty more where their missiles came from. And that's the issue. It's gonna be a real nasty war, man. It's gonna be a lot of death on both sides. Okay, them brothers having a private conversation. All right, we good. Let's get into this. Habakkuk 2:5, it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right, this man, that's why this man has a global empire, man. He's left no stone unturned. He's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. He's all up in Antarctica. He's everywhere. Neither keepeth at home. Between when the Cold War was going on between America and Russia, they were everywhere. Okay? Because them Russians are Edomites too. That's why they're going to be destroyed. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, man. These devils, they always want more power, more glory, more substance. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? Right? Because what do? They go around the world, they extort the nations of the world, man. They borrow, they utilize the petrodollar and these different economic mechanisms, and they enrich themselves at the expense of these other nations. Right? Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Now, when you look up the meaning of that word in the Hebrew for thick clay, the word there in the Hebrew is Ibathayat. No, Ibathayat. I think that is. I'm better with the paleo, man. But that's what it means, thick clay, weight of pledges, heavy debts. All right? Heavy debts, right? So when you go back here, you can see that. You can see it quite clearly, man. 17 trillion as compared to the 451 billion that Russia has. All right? Look at their purchasing power. God damn. It's like 19 trillion compared to Russia. You look at their aircraft. Right? Transports. So they got their military is a super powered military, man. But despite all that, the Lord's going to set up Russia and their allies to destroy America in this third world war. But the pride of America is instead of seeking peace, they're going to go headlong into that war to their own destruction. And that's why America is not seeking peace. They're not allowing a peaceable resolution because of their pride. Their pride has deceived them. This military that they have, this superpower status that they have, is driving them forward towards their ultimate destruction, man. All right? Because they know there's no nation on earth on paper that can really like mess with them like that. But guess what? There's going to be an alliance against them. And even their own allies, their own NATO allies, is going to turn on them in the end. Okay? But when you go into the numbers, you understand why the scripture says that the nations marveled, man. They said, who's going to make war with this beast? In fact, let's get that. Where was it? Revelations 13. I'm sure I had Revelations 13 up on deck. Probably switched out of it. The scriptures ain't lying. The scriptures, it's in the scriptures for a reason. Right? Revelations 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. That was Rome. And his deadly wound was healed. So Rome came back again, but as America. And all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Who is going to be able to make war with America and NATO? because of the power that America has on its own, plus its NATO allies, France, UK, Turkey, Germany, Italy, the list goes on. But you see, now the Lord is putting the spirit on these nations to come up against America, man, because it's time for that war. It's time for America's end. You know, as the scripture says, man, they're going to send out what? A taunting proverb. Scripture says, let the weak say I am strong. These other nations, they're building themselves up to a level where they're going to band together and come against Babylon, led by Russia. And Russia's got the tools. They got that air defense system, which is going to nullify a lot of the air power that America possesses. And that shows you that America is that eagle, man. Because they attack from the air. That's their main power, the air attack. That's why they got all them aircraft carriers, so they could project their aerial dominance all over the world. But the Russians have got that superior missile technology that can nullify your air force. And then it's going to have to go to the ground game. Hey, there's going to be a lot of dead. Let's get the scripture, man. That's why this war there's going to be a lot of dead Americans. There's going to be a lot of dead Russians. There's going to be a lot of dead men on all sides all over the earth, because these two Goliaths are going to clash, and they got hella destructive power. Destructive power which has not been known on the earth, man, this side of the flood. Trust me. Isaiah 34:1, come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people, let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all his armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. And that's what it's going to be. World War III is going to be a meat grinder. It's basically going to be a slaughter. See, America, they think they're going to roll over the nations. No. They're not going to roll. Their pride has deceived them. They're not going to roll over nobody. They're going to find themselves in a down and dirty, toe-to-toe fist fight, man. And they're going to be getting their nose bloody and their teeth getting knocked out. And there's going to be big blows being landed on both sides. But ultimately, it's going to come down to what they never thought it was going to come down to. It's going to come down to them nuclear armaments, man. As the scriptures say, they shall think an evil thought. Because right now, they don't really want to use them nuclear weapons. And because you got that thing called mutually assured destruction, neither side really want to use nuclear weapons for fear that if they use nuclear weapons, the other side uses their nuclear weapons and nobody basically survives. Everyone gets destroyed. But guess what? Them nuclear weapons are going to get used. Point blank, period. Because it's the will of the Lord. And America's going to get it the worst out of everyone. They're going to be the biggest loser. Right? Their slain also shall be cast out. Their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. All the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. That's because they're missiles. And all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the majority of the destruction is going to be in these Edomite lands, and in perfection in the #1 Edomite land at the moment, which is America. All right, which is right, because these Edomites, man, they're the man of the sword, so they're going to fall by the sword. They're all about that military might and that power. While they're telling you they're all about peace and love and harmony, they're spending all their money on weapons, man. Right, because they're that red horse, the so-called white man, which represents what? America, Russia, Britain, France. Yeah, they're the people of the sword, man. They're the people of violence. They're the people of blood. They're the ones that set up World War I. They're the ones that set up World War II. They're the ones that's fomenting these wars and profiting from them and selling these weapons of mass destruction. They're the ones that started all this chemical warfare crap and biological warfare. That is their doing. That weren't Pookie. That weren't Pookie from the ghetto. It's these so-called white people, man. Dr. Death. Let's get Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red. And that red horse represents what? Edom, represents the so-called white man. He is that red horse. He is that power of the sword, man. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. That's what the so-called white man's good at. He's good at taking peace from the earth because he's covetous and he loves blood. And when he don't get his own way, he's going to, whether it's right or wrong, he's going to resort to the sword, man. That's his spirit. Whether it's right or wrong, if he wants something, if you got something and he wants it, or you look at him the wrong way, he ain't gonna hesitate to use his sword. He will not hesitate. And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, a great military, right? Culminating in what? That nuclear armament. Because the #1 nuclear powers on the earth are two Edomite nations, America and Russia. And they were the ones that started the nuclear arms race, and they were the ones that developed these weapons of mass destruction, which are hazardous to the earth. You know, what kind of people would develop such a weapon? What kind of people would develop and use atomic weapons, man? What kind of mind do you have to develop a weapon that totally lays waste to a man's land, where you can't even go in and live on that land after you've destroyed it? You understand? That's the devil that we're dealing with. That's gonna come to you claiming how he's a Christian and he loves everybody, and you gotta forgive and forget. The same man that would happily develop and use nuclear weapons. Blow up everything. Man, woman, child, dog, fish, cat, everything. Dead. Tree, you don't care. Everything must die. That's Esau's spirit, man. So that same spirit is going to be turned on his own head. As the scriptures say, the wicked is snared by the workings of their own hands. They develop these nuclear weapons. In fact, when you really break it down, America, they developed these nuclear weapons using them German scientists, and they were the first nation to use those weapons on another nation, and they're going to be the last nation that those weapons are used on. And that's justice. That's, you know, you let the cat out the bag, man. You Edomites let the cat out the bag, beginning with you Americans. You're the one that set the precedent for the use of nuclear weapons. You did that. Nobody else did that. You did that. You let the cat out the bag. Ain't nobody else did that. You escalated it from conventional warfare, and it's going to escalate again. This is Psalms 9:16. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Yeah, you dig the pit, and you're going to fall into that pit that you digged. Because don't look at us, the Hebrew Israelites. We didn't make no nuclear weapons. We didn't research and build no nuclear weapons. We don't maintain no nuclear weapons. You do. So you're going to fall by your own sword. And that's a beautiful thing. All right? Now I wanted to show you these Edomites, man. Now, list of countries by military expenditure. And you're going to see that the superpower, Babylon the Great, they're spending in billions, as you see here, right? And this is updated, of course. The total world spending is 1,686 at the moment, billion. United States accounts for 600 alone, accounts for 600 billion of that. The nearest after that is the Republic of China, because they're trying to play catch up, and then Russia, and then Saudi Arabia. America is all about that sword. They're all about the gun. All right, that's the spirit of America. Blood, the spirit of violence. the bloody and deceitful man. And then look who it is, all these Edomite nations. But then now you see these other heathen nations, they're starting to spend. But this is a recent thing. This is something that's happened in recent history that you get in like China. China weren't spending a bunch of money on the military 20 years ago. This is all in recent times because the Lord is putting the spirit on these other nations to build up their militaries, man. Joel, the 3rd chapter. And guess who's supplying most of these weapons? The so-called white men. Out of greed. They're selling these weapons to these other nations because of their own greed, because they're making money. But these nations are going to take these same weapons that they sell to them and use it against them. Oh, my. Oh, boy. These Edomites, man, they're something else. Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Yeah? And that's talking about, hey, all them ancient warriors, man, they're all back here today getting ready to fight in World War III, man. All them Persian immortals that were fighting against the Spartans and the Greeks back then, they're back here today in the Iranian special forces. Because the Persian immortals was their special forces, man. They back here today. And they're going to fight against them Amalekites. All right? Because them Macedonians were Amalekites, man. So the same thing is happening all over again, man. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Goliath and all them guys are all back here today. And they're going to be fighting. Because them Hamitic nations, they're going to be in the war too. All right? Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Right? So these different other nations, they're taking money, which they would normally put into agriculture and education, and they're putting it into their militaries, man. And that's basically really only been happening over the last 25 years. Because when you really check out a lot of these nations, especially in the Middle East, if you go back 30, 40 years, they really never had no military at all. Like Saudi Arabia, you go back in history, go back during World War II, when the so-called white men in Europe had tanks and submarines, what did Saudi Arabia have? They didn't have jack shit. Them guys were still riding around on camels, man, with swords. The proliferation of major military assets of these lesser nations has really happened over the last 20 to 30 years, because they're trying to play catch up, just like China. China didn't have all what they got now 20, 30 years ago. All right. A lot of them didn't have nuclear weapons. Now they got them. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Because what the Lord's going to have happen is America, in their pride, they ain't going to back down. They're going to keep moving forward. They're going to get drawn into this war, and they're going to find themselves coming up against the other nations, man. Russia, China, all the other nations, they're going to all come together to fight against America. And then you're going to have America's close allies in the midst of that. They're going to jump ship, and they're going to come up against America. And in the end of the deal, after untold amounts of bloodshed on either side, them nuclear missiles is going to fly. And America's going to get the shitty end of the stick. As it is written, man, the beast shall hate the whore, and they're going to burn her with fire. So all these nations, India, Pakistan, China, Russia, all them nations, plus Americans' own allies, are going to escalate the war from a conventional warfare to a nuclear warfare. And America's going to be finished. And all that superpower, all this pride they had because there was no one nation that could really step to them, or really no two nation even. It's all gonna become to naught, man. And thus the will and the word of the Lord is gonna be manifested on earth, man, over the pride of men. All right. Go through some of these precepts here. I said, isn't one guy, Great Britain's not my country, man. It's just where I live. All right. I don't know what you're talking about. Luke 11:18, if Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because you say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. Yeah, these Edomites are against each other. Every man's hand is against his brother, man. All right. That's their beef. Hey, keep going. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Yeah, America's on some other level shit, man. Yeah, that's why the prophet wandered after her. But even so, they still gonna fall, man. Hey, like the brothers GMS StrongInFaith said, what goes up must come down apart from our kingdom. And our kingdom is never gonna go down. Why? Because the Lord have spoken it. See, it all goes back to the will and the power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. It's not about men. It's about the Lord. The Lord reigneth in the kingdom of men. And the Lord already made Nebuchadnezzar an example of that. But guess what? Men are hard-headed, man. The Lord had that man eating grass like a cow, man. And he was a king over a whole empire, just to show that he ruleth in the kingdom of men. Hey, but the whole deal's got to be completed. And then men are going to understand. Jeremiah 49 and 16. We're going to read that again. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. And like I said, that's why Trump is so proud, because of that American military, that superpower status that America has. As far as they're concerned, Russia's an old defeated enemy. But what they don't know is that the Lord is going to be with Russia and their allies to give America that work. All right? Russia's going, the Lord set Russia up with exactly what they need to proceed. Like the brothers got S400, S500s, man. They're going to even up the game just enough. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Yeah, they're sitting on top, man. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as the eagle, I will bring thee down from hence, saith the Lord. The Lord gonna bring them down, man. Jeremiah 50:24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. See, they really right now, Donald Trump and everyone in they can't really see a way that America is gonna go down. Them American generals, they can't see a way that America is gonna go down. They can't see it. That's why they're not seeking peace. But the time's gonna come where they're gonna wish they did seek peace and just chilled. All right, because there was a time where Russia was chilling. They started the beef. All right. Thou wast not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord, because they're wicked, man. Revelations 13:13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire to come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And they, they do that how they want, and they got so much money. That airstrike that they did in Syria, man, look, that shit cost them 39 million just for the Tomahawk missiles alone. They launched $39 million worth of missiles like it's nothing. There's plenty more where they came from. That's the status that America has. They've got so much money, they could print money into infinity. They got a cheat code. Like when you got them games that you build a city and you put it on cheat mode and you got unlimited funds. You just build, buy. That's America. All right. Yeah, they're gonna launch missiles at the whole York, Old York, and the New York. Yeah. Yeah, they strike Syria and said, let's be peaceful, because they don't know no other way. America, they've been the hammer of the earth for so long. The hammer don't know how to do nothing else but hammer. In fact, let's get that, because I know I had that lined up. The hammer of the earth, man. That's America, man. That is the hammer of the earth, man. And they got a big hammer. They got like a Thor's hammer too. Right? They got them bunker buster missiles. Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut a whole earth? Hold on. Let me get back up this. Look at this. You telling me America's not the hammer of the whole earth? Hold on. Look at this. You brother see this? You telling me this is talking about the Vatican? This is talking about America, man. That's the hammer of the whole earth, man. Look at this. Come on, fam. You get me? Look at this, man. The United States military is currently deployed to more locations than it has been throughout history. There's only 46 countries on this earth that the US military do not have a presence. There's 156 countries with US troops, 63 countries with US military bases and troops, 7 countries with 13 new US military bases since 2001. What the hell? What the hell? It's just the hammer of the whole earth. Then they got all them aircraft carriers, man, floating around. Let me show these aircraft carriers, man. Madness. The aircraft carrier is a madness, man. I don't know if you brothers ever seen an aircraft carrier before, but that's madness, man. Them guys actually built that, man. China's building some. A lot of nations are building, but America's got more aircraft carriers than anyone, man. They're just taking the piss, man. I mean, these things are massive, man. These things are terrible. You don't want one of these looming down on your country. You better have S-400s coming out the ass, man. They're launching off planes, man. They're like an airport on the sea. These things are massive. You know the kind of ingenuity and the time and the expense it must have came up to develop these things, man. But that's where Esau's mind and his spirit is. And the Lord said he was going to give him that sword. All right. Now, when you go to aircraft carriers, man, I mean, these dudes are taking the mick, mate. They're taking the piss. All that money they've spent, man. The amount of money they've spent, like, you got you Jakes living in the ghetto. Moaning about some welfare, man. It's hilarious. Yeah, these niggas on welfare. You know how much money these guys spend with these aircraft carriers, man? It is ridiculous. Where is it? Aircraft. There we go. Aircraft carriers, man. This is madness. Look how much they got more than anyone else. United States have got 20 aircraft carriers, man. 20. They're just killing the game, man. And they can take these aircraft carriers and send them out anywhere in the world, and they instantly have your country under the eagle. You understand what I'm saying? Your country is under the eagle now. They could just roll up on you, man. Pow, 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 pow. Through. You better have some S500s or some S400s to protect yourself, because they ain't gonna stop. They just gonna keep pounding you and pounding you and pounding you till you can't do nothing no more. Because they got like unlimited fucking resources, man. Crazy. Use throwaway Tomahawk missiles, man. Anyway, let's jump back over Jeremiah, man. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth? So they actually have the ability to attack anyone, anywhere in the earth, especially with their air force. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Yeah, how? Hey, because the Lord is going to set it up. How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. And thou wast not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. All right? All that wickedness they be doing, they're going to be murked. All right? Let's jump back over here. Yeah, them carriers are so big, they got a ghetto and a McDonald's in them. Yeah. Them carriers is some serious business, man. All right? That's why everyone that, if you ain't seeking after the Lord, man, you're gonna be caught, man. You're gonna be caught out there in some serious shit. And these missiles, man, they're gonna be flying into these cities, man. And if you want to know, go see what happened in Yugoslavia, man, when the missiles started pounding the hell out of there. Okay, you know, you niggas want to talk about your block. Let them send two or three Hellfire missiles onto your block, man. Your whole block will be your whole block will be turned into rubble, mate. Yeah. Your whole block will be looking like 9/11. And that's going to happen too. Job 20:5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Because they've been what? They've been superpowering the game for what? Since like the night. You gotta say like the 1950s onwards. You could say the 60s, 50s into the 60s when they really started killing the game. So you're talking about, you know, then they had Russia to deal with. You know, Russia kind of, you know, bowed out the game in the 90s, early 90s. So you're talking about the 90s to now. I mean, there's been about 30, 40 years these guys have been just violating the whole earth. You know what I'm saying? Outright superpower in the game. All right. But it's gonna come to a naught, man. It's gonna come to a naught. A lot of these guys now, they were born when America began its supremacy. And before they die, they're going to see the end of America's supremacy. So it's short-lived. Their children ain't going to see that supremacy, man. Or should I say their children ain't going to outlive that supremacy. All right? Your brother said, just like the Roman military, yeah. Portable airports, man. I mean, damn. You know what I mean? Floating hotels. Yeah. They got 60, they got all kinds of stuff, man. This is Isaiah. That's just a good scripture. Isaiah 33:1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Because when they go into this war, America's going to quickly find out that they need their allies, man. They're going to find out, raw, this is too much. I need the allies, man. And at that point is when them allies they got is going to turn on them. It's going to be beautiful, man. It's going to be beautiful. But that's what you get for being an asshole, man. Nobody wants to fuck with you. At the first opportunity, they're going to jump ship. And that's exactly what's happening, and it's going to continue to happen. Because America ruled like an asshole. That's that pride. All right? You treat people like shit. When the time comes, you know, they're going to jump ship on you, man. Why should they stick by you? Why should they be loyal? All right? Now, the hammer of the whole earth. Now, I wanted to go back to Revelation 6:4 and show you how the Edomite man he's the man of the sword. He's Esau. When you go to Genesis 27 chapter, it tells you how Esau blessing included the sword. This is Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And even I mean, there was a documentary that showed you how many wars and coups have been started by the CIA alone, man. Secret wars in third world countries, man. John Stockwell, CIA's war on humans, man. It's this devil, man. This devil's been, and that's just the CIA. You got the MI6. This devil's hand is always in some shit. The Russians do the same shit as the Soviet Union. Or most of the wars of the 20th century were wars, proxy wars, and there was a so-called white man at the top of both sides, whether it was Russia or whether it was America. Vietnam, the Philippines, it's all the same shit. It's always a so-called white man involved. Wars in Africa, always a so-called white man involved, funding one or both sides, providing the weapons. Now, what I want to show you is, we already showed you the expenditure of America, right? Now, arms sales. Ask yourself, where are all these weapons, where are they coming from? Yeah, even in your local ghetto, where do you know? Unless these guys are getting a bike tube and making some one pop. If they got a weapon, it's Smith and Wesson or this, that, a Glock or whatever they busting off. Who you think made that? Who produced that? Well, let's find out. Arms sales. Who are the world's 100 top arms producers? Sales of weapons and military services exceeded 400 billion in 2010. So this is 2010. Who are the biggest arms producers and which countries lead the top 100 list? Now, since black people are so violent and it should be all Negroes. I should see the Crips and the Bloods in there. No, who do I see? Let me zoom it in. Let's see who's really about all this war and bloodshed. All right. Lockheed Martin, USA. All right. BAE Systems, UK. Boeing, USA. Edomites. Northrop Grumman, USA. General Dynamics, USA. Raytheon, USA. BAE Systems, USA. EAD, Trans-European, Edomites. Finmeccanica, Italy, Edomites. L3 Communications, USA. United Technologies, USA. Thales, France, Edomites. SAIC, USA. Oshkosh Truck, USA. Computer Science Corp, USA. Honeywell, USA. Safran, France. And this is the top 16. So far is all Edomites. This is the man of the sword. All right, but we're the violent people. Sikorsky, USA. Rolls-Royce, UK. General Electric, USA. Pratt & Whitney, USA. ITT Corp, USA. Almaz Ante, Russia, Edomites. MBDA, Edomites. Yeah, the list goes on. Russia again, France, USA. Yeah, USA, Japan. Okay, some Ammonites up in there. That's so you had to get to like number 25, sorry, before you got to a nation other than Esau. Yeah, then it goes on. France, Italy, USA, Sweden, Edomites, UK, USA, Germany, USA, India, Elam, Israeli state, Edomites, France, USA, Israel, Edomites, USA, UK, USA, France, USA, UK, Spain, India, Elam again, Italy, Russia, Edomites, USA, Singapore, some Japhet or something like that, UK, Russia, Germany, Norway, Israelis again, France, Australia, Edomites, Russia, Germany, Japan, Ammon. We're at 57. We probably named about 3 nations that are not Edomites in the whole list. Yeah, USA, then you got South Korea, some Moabites, whatever, man, wherever the hell they are, Moab or Ammon. We sort them out in the you know, when the missiles, after the missiles, we sort them out. Russia, Germany, Japan. So you should see my point. In the top 100, it's all Edomites, man. These Edomites are the people who are in control of the sword on the planet, man. They're the man of the sword. They're the man of blood. And they don't hate blood. That's their history. They're the people of violence, man. Their answer to everything is the sword. Look what Britain and America and France did 2 days ago based on no evidence. They decided to go drop bombs on another country. That's the way they are. That is their spirit. When all else fails, the sword. Blood. They don't care about spilling blood. That's nothing to them. That's their history, man. Meanwhile, they'll pretend because they're hypocrites. That's why the scriptures speak about what hope hath the hypocrite, man. They're actors because they're the same people that will say they believe in peace, say they believe in love, say they believe in all these things, and these are the same people who are masters of the sword, who don't ramp to use that sword at any moment's notice, who will spend billions upon billions upon billions upon trillions on the sword, and then tell you that you're not the peaceful one. Because Jake have a shootout, Jake have a kill a few, you know, nine, Jakes get killed on the street with some knife crime. 1 or 2 people get shot, you know, and oh my God, these niggas in the ghetto are so violent, but they could drop 150 Tomahawk missiles, kill untold amounts of civilians, and they can call it collateral damage and don't have to provide no evidence for why they did it, and they're peaceful people. They don't get to be stigmatized. No, you the ultimate niggas, man. You the ultimate gangsters. Your death toll is without measure. The death that's going on in the streets between these Negroes and these Hispanics and these gang warfare is nothing compared to what you do, man. You're the master of death. You're the master of the sword of bloodshed. You're the Lord of War. You even made the movie, man. You love war, but war's gonna be your end. This is Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, and the first verse is, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, right? And the Mount Seir represents Edom, beginning with America. So you got to be spiritual, all right? And I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee desolate, and I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. And that's why the scripture says, he that ruleth the nations in anger, man. Look at the history, man. Look at the wars. Look at the coups and the civil wars that this man has fomented, man. This man has set up ISIS, fucked up Libya, fucked up Iraq, fucked up country after country after country, causing mass bloodshed and fucking refugee crisis. You got hundreds of thousands of people just fleeing all over the planet, running from one bomb to the next, man. Because of who? Because of the so-called white man. He's the mastermind, man. The way of his hands in the earth, man. All right, let's keep it real. This man is responsible for a whole lot of blood from the very beginning, from since the Greek times to the times of the Romans to this modern day. You slaughtered the Native American Indians, slaughtered the so-called Negro in wherever he found us. Went over to the Americas, the conquistadors. All that. What did they do? Slaughter, bloodshed. They do anything to establish themselves, man. They'll do anything, man, to be on top. They don't have no morals. They don't have no right and wrong. It's just whatever they gotta. They do whatever they gotta do, as long as it's getting them shit. And that's why the scripture says about you niggas on the streets, ye are of your father the devil. Because you niggas that's on the street, you got the same mentality, man. You ain't got no morals. You do whatever you got to do by the gun to get what you got to do. So if you got to sell crack, you don't care whether it's right or wrong. You're going to do whatever you got to do so you can get what you... Well, Esau, the ultimate crack dealer. In fact, he runs all that. The Chinese opium wars. Esau, the ultimate nigga, man. He's a demon. He's Mr. by any means necessary, man. That's why he's got nuclear weapons, man. What the hell, man? How you gonna come to us, the Hebrew Israelites, and say we're worse than anybody when you got nuclear weapons, man? You done tested them motherfuckers in the water. You done tested them on land. You done tested them in the air. Spent trillions doing that and polluted the earth in the meantime. Up in the rates of cancer, up in the rates of disease by putting radioactive particles up into the atmosphere, man. And then you want to turn around and you want to look at us like we crazy. No, you crazy, man. You a maniac. You out of your damn mind, man. Radiating the earth, man. We're going to have to fix the earth after you fucked it up, man. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Yeah, when the Lord turned his back on us and gave us up, you took full advantage, man. And you applied that sword, man, without mercy until you got what you wanted to get. You didn't stop because you, oh man, I'm killing too many. No, you stopped when you're like, yo, I want to chill now and enjoy my spoils. That's when you stopped. You stopped once all the Native American Indians were subjugated and you could chill. That's when you said, yeah, okay, man, put the rest of them on these conservations. We don't got everything we wanted now. Put them in them zoos right there. That's the spirit of the so-called white man. He don't stop because he's moral, because he gets a conscience. The so-called white man has no conscience, man. He doesn't have morality. He only has morale. Feel good. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, man. You got nothing but pain, death, suffering coming your way because you reap what you sow. That's what you sowed on the earth, man. You'd like to make the people of the earth think that you civilized the planet and you made the world a better place and safer and healthier. No, you created biological weapons and diseases and chemical weapons and GMOs, and you done destroyed every damn thing, man. A man can't even have a wife. You know what I'm saying? This place is crazy, man. You fucked everything up, man. You destroyed people on every level, mental, physical, and spiritual, man. You're a destructive influence on the earth, man. And wherever you are, you bring blood, misery, and McDonald's. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare on thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth, man. And you Edomites that are left on the earth after the great destruction, you going into slavery, man. And it ain't even just slavery. It's worse than that. You going into punishment. Let's get that. You going to pay for everything you done. This ain't just slavery. Slavery's when you got a guy working for you. You ain't just gonna be working. You're gonna be getting punished, man. That's a whole different ball game. Yeah, it's one thing to be in slavery. There's another thing to be getting punished. And let's get that. You know, we could close up on that, man. Talking about we worse than the KKK. You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out, man. You're gonna see what's up, man. Complaining already. You're gonna hella complain in the kingdom, trust me. Because we're gonna punish you. You ain't, a lot of times you might even be doing no work. You're just gonna be getting tortured, getting whipped up. That's gonna be your work. Your work is to be lamentating in my ears, man. Psalms to squeal like a pig. Psalms 149:4, for the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. Yeah, and his people are the Israelites, man. If you didn't know that already, he will beautify the meek with salvation. The Lord's gonna raise up his people in these last days, man. Right? And we don't need no nuclear weapons. We don't need no military. We got the word of the Lord. We got the blood of Yahweh Shai and his testimony, man. And that's all we need. The Lord is gonna be with us, man. Hell's your guns. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. You understand? To execute vengeance upon the heathen. And the main heathen that we're going to get is you Edomites, man. You're a very special people to Israel. You're very special. So you're going to get special treatment in the kingdom. All right? And punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. And if the kings and the nobles are getting put in that, then the common man too, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord. So when all said is done, as mighty as America has been, and mighty as the so-called white man is in terms of the sword, the Lord is going to deliver us from he that is stronger than us. The Lord's going to bring them down to the dust. And we're going to have them in derision. We're going to have them in captivity, man. And the Lord's going to establish us a righteous rulership. And we're going to be even more powerful than them. By the will and the power, because the Lord's going to turn us into weapons, man. We're the Lord's weaponries, man. The Lord's going to turn us into sharp, fresh instruments, man. We're going to be superpowers individually. You a superpowered nation. We're going to be superpowered men. And that's supposed, hey, I might have to do a video on that. Yeah? Something that you Edomites, you want to be. You want to be like that. You want to become supermen, but you're not. You're never going to know what true power actually feels like coursing through your veins. The only thing you're going to know what is when you get your crack hit or your cocaine hit. Damn devils. Come aboard and I'm out. America, Russia, China, and France in the update arms sales. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Esau, man. Yeah, black on black crime. Get the fuck out of here, man. 2 Ezra 15 and 55. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense. They're gonna get that. We're gonna get that payback, man. It's called justice. Talking about how we worse than the KKK. It's called justice, my man. See, what Esau did to us, he did without a cause. What we gonna do to Esau is for a cause, the avenger of blood. When you go into the scripture, the avenger of blood wasn't counted guilty. He's the avenger of blood, his righteousness. How the hell you gonna make it look like we're in the wrong for applying justice? Don't you have the death penalty in America? So is the executioner in the wrong when he applied that death penalty, man, to the murderer? What are you talking about, man? He that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. That's called justice, man. You Edomites can't even fathom that. You're so far removed from the concept of justice, you can't even fathom that. And you worse than the KKK. Please. Psalms 11 and 5. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. And the so-called white man loves violence, man. They love it. They revel in violence, man. Me, I don't revel in violence, man. I prefer to farm. I just want to chill. It's not my thing. But if it's got to be, it's got to be. When the call of war is made, you gotta rise up. All right. I like peace. They shall seek to please the poor and restore his goods. The Jeremiah, okay. Jeremiah 51:20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Yeah, Jake like to chill, man. We like to chill, play dominoes. Ain't worrying about running around the world killing people, man, for no reason. Like, come on, man, chill. But that's Esau's spirit. You know, Esau is a damn devil that the Bible speaks of, man. He's a wild beast. You know, he can't live in harmony with anyone, man. All right, he's too covetous. All right, so with that, you know, hopefully brothers have been edified, man. You know, you have an understanding why the scripture said, who shall make war with the beast? Because America and NATO together is a superpower of superpowers. But regardless to that fact, the Lord is bringing that superpower to an end. And the Lord's going to use these other heathen nations and turn these Edomites even against themselves in their alliances to bring an end to the rulership of Esau on this planet, man. And ultimately, Yahweh Shai is going to come and finish them all off anyway. Easy work. You definitely don't want no smoke with Yahweh Shai, man. That's a different level of superpower. That's that ultra power. All right, so with that, I'm going to say shalom. Wait, where is this thing? There it is.